Hello, this is Greg Allison Green Greg's coming to you on the 10th of December 2020. And I hate to sound like a broken record, but it just keeps coming at us a plenty. Once again, there is developments in the world of military deployments and things moving around. Let's hope it don't take us to the ground. My friends, I just got through doing a story. I just did one and posted it, yesterday about ominous deployments, ominous military deployments. And as I was doing that story, there was underway already to Iran two B52 strata fortresses from Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana. And that wasn't in my report because they turned around in the wee hours this morning and started heading back. It's a 36-hour round trip. And the funny thing is, this is two times this has happened within 3 weeks, which is very much unprecedented. And I had a live session last night, as many of you know I do these things on Wednesday nights. And several of my people in the chat room were talking about deployments in their area and things going on. My friends, this is the time of the year the military usually stands down and goes home for Christmas because it's coming up on us. But to see all these strange things happening makes it very interesting. But to make it even more interesting, to add sauce to this already hot soup, it just so happens that it's been reported or certain sources that Israel just did a mock exercise on attacking Damascus. Yes, Damascus. As you might recall, Isaiah in the Old Testament has a prophecy against Damascus being utterly destroyed. Well, Damascus is one of the oldest cities on earth. But as you might know, in Isaiah 17, it says, "See, Damascus will no longer be a city, but will become a heap of ruins." Interesting, right? Very, very, very interesting. Very concerning, I might add. But so these times are getting interesting, very interesting. I keep telling you guys, you're going to have to get ready. You got to prepare. That's why I bring this stuff to you. That's why I bring to you this series of reports called My Eyes Wide Open, Head on a Swivel News. And so you will know to get ready, to be prepared, and to take it seriously and spread the word. You can share these videos with your friends and family. Says, look, something might be going down. We do need to get ready. It's not like we're already not in some kind of light, what hits the fan. Look what's been going down this year. We've got 72,000 U.S. businesses, small businesses, been shut down because of what's going around. It's been, for some people, it's bleak. And not for everyone, but it's mixed. But how long can the United States keep propping all this stuff up? So let me show you. There is good news. And all these bad times, I do have one piece of good news for you. Yes. As you might well know, I do have prepwithgreg.com. If you go to prepwithgreg.com, we got a great special, $100 off of a 4-week supply of food that lasts 25 years. You talk about good prep and stuff. Not only that, it comes in these two lightweight, easy to carry packages. Boom, boom, boom. See these buckets, boom, boom. Easy to move, easy to carry. The kids can carry them around. You throw them in the bus, the car, maybe even the motorcycle if you got a side bag or some kind. Your boat. They're great for bugging out, bugging in, storing. These big, heavy plastic buckets last a long time. And once you've used them, you can have them for other uses. You can use them again. You know what I mean? But the great thing is these great little packages are great for removing and putting in your backpack and all kind of bug out possibilities there. But look, it's real food. You get 2,000 calories per day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And at this current price, wow, you'd be a winner. Now, I don't expect that to hold. It'll probably go up because food prices are doing just that. I'm surprised if you kept it that low this long, but you'll still get $100 off if you go to prepwithgreg.com. And you also get a really good discount if you just get a 2-week supply. But you can get a lot more than that. You can get years of supply if you so choose, and other prepping supplies by clicking on the My Patriot logo. And that still credits my channel and helps me. You can get all kinds of survival items, water filtration, air purification, and including meat packs, fruit packs, gluten-free food options, and long-term storage and number 10 cans. And I love those, especially for bugging in. They're great. Enough of this. Let's get out of this. Bada bing, bada bang. Hello. So once again, we're here. once again, I just got through talking about this, and this is just keeps giving. Makes you really wonder if there is something afoot. Is there something going on? You know, I just did all these reports about things that are deployed out there. And so what you might know is that General McKenzie, this is what he had to say about these deployments. He said, the ability to fly strategic bombers halfway across the world in a nonstop mission to rapidly integrate with multiple region partners demonstrates our close working relationship and shared commitment to regional security and stability. And so what they're concerned about something. And, you know, so, you know, we're looking at the anniversary of the assassination of General Qasem Soleimani and other things. But is it just that we're worried about Iran? Are we just showing the flag? That could be. I mean, you know, we have sent bombers flying around Iran before when we were just showing the flag, but not so many, especially this time of the year. And those are not trivial flights, 36-hour round trip flights, and multiple refuelings required. So this is not at all something that you take lightly. As you might remember, I did a video recently about sending several Qatar. And so these planes that went over and they've flown clockwise loops around Qatar. They've flown, now these planes didn't even touch the ground on this time. You know, previously some of them went to Qatar, but these have just been flying right next to Iranian airspace without going in, just right next to it. Real provocative. So what they're worried about, and one of the things that was talked about, is the risk of miscalculations by the Iranians. They say right now that they're higher than normal. And why is that? Why are they saying that? Is it because we're putting extra pressure on them? Because we're positioning things to make it like we might be about to hit them? Or Israel is? Or is it the miscalculations over the presumptions of what Trump might do versus Biden? I don't know. These are all speculations. They're all speculations. Why do they suppose that these potential for the risk of miscalculations are higher than normal? That's what defense officials are saying right now. And so they elaborate. They elaborate. And what they're saying is it's higher than normal right now, but it doesn't mean that they're going to do something. But, you know, they want to ensure that they're contemplating some sort of aggressive act. So our approach is right. We recognize that there are some potentialities for Iranian miscalculation, which represent how they might behave toward the United States. This is what the DOD officials had to say about it. Interesting. So why? And it goes further. It says Iran and their proxies are always planning attacks. Really? Anything big though? This is, you know, this looks like something big. And it says we're certainly aware of a number of different things that they are planning here and there. Some of them are closer to execution and more realistic than others, and some are aspirational. See, it's just Mickey Mouse gobbledygook they're putting out. Why are they saying these things? Why are they saying things that are so Mickey Mousey gobbledygooky? You know, that, so what? Well, they can't be kind of sort of this line, well, but be blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's kind of really mealy mouth kind of language to be coming from a defense official, right? You see, one goes on. We're trying to just ensure that the Iranians do think that they have, that if they have a plan that's executable, that they'll think twice before executing it. Well, that's kind of the show the flag kind of thing, right? So, you know, I don't know if I want to keep debating that, quoting this particular mealy-mouthy man here. If it's not just Iran, but some of their proxies that we worry about, particularly in Iraq, and the level of Iranian control over those proxies is something that is certainly debatable. Yeah, well, did that warrant B52s? That's something you deal with at some other level, right? And why all the aircraft carriers in the Nimitz just south of the Persian Gulf? Some people say these B52s were sent out as a response to the idea that we're about to send Nimitz home. Are we going to send Nimitz home, or is it going to do something before it comes home? And the whole posture where we got aircraft carriers off the East Coast and West Coast. Why are we protecting the Gulf Coast? Remember Stacy Zivicki's vision from Sustainable Stewards? What happens if we get hit from Venezuela? You got to remember, we just had our special envoy to Venezuela and Iran from the Trump administration, Mr. Elliot Abrams, who was sitting looking real stern like, right? Saying that, that Iran, if you put missiles in Venezuela, we will take them. If we find them on the way there, we will interdict them. And yet right now, the biggest flotilla ever, supposedly carrying petroleum, is still on its way from Iran to Venezuela. And of course, I reported on the 747 cargo aircraft that landed with unknown payload. So what is happening? We know that Iran does send a lot of military supplies to Venezuela. They're supporting Venezuela, but so is Russia, so is China. North Korea is involved. So if we got hit, as per Stacy Zivicki's vision, from that area, she saw it, who do we strike? Technically, we wouldn't know probably who did it. Does that mean we don't strike anyone? Or because of the warnings put out by Elliot Abrams, does that mean that we automatically hit Iran? Well, what if you decide you'd like the United States to go to its knees and somebody else to take the fall for it? Who want to do it? Maybe China. Maybe you want to take out, the People's Republic of China, as run by the CCP. Not the people of China, not the Republic of China, which is the democratic nation on the island of Taiwan. What if they decide, hey, we want to do these things, the United States is a pain in, we're going to take this world, and they're slowing us down. If we can just knock them down a notch and make it look like Iran did it. Would they do that? Only if they were desperate, but are they? We know they're certainly power hungry right now. Yeah, I can do several stories on China right now, and I will be doing some on them real soon because there's just a lot of news coming out of there, a lot to report. I'm having to pick and choose what to report. But the reason I report this is just because this one today, again, is because the first thing I heard when I got up this morning was news of these B52s flying over Israel on their way home this morning. I was like, oh man, I just talked about this. Yikes. So what is it all about? Of course, McKenzie, General McKenzie I quoted earlier, he says, we do not seek conflict, but we must remain postured and committed to respond to any contingency or in any opposition to any aggression. Well, that's fair. That's what defense is all about. But are we really practicing defense or are we practicing offense? So it's hard to say. It's hard to say, especially when we send the Strata forces twice within 3 weeks. That's a little bit more than a normal message. The Nimitz is down there. We got all these other aircraft carrier position off China and our coast. But now here's what else you might want to know that might get your ghost. In face of Fakhrizadeh, the Iranian nuclear scientist that was taken out, Iran has responded by saying they will build 2 nuclear facilities, 2 nuclear fuel processing facilities, one to specialize in handling and machining and developing uranium metals, and the other is going to be a light water reactor capable of producing plutonium. Yeah, plutonium. That really ups the ante. And plutonium is only what's it good for? Bombs. It's the most deadly substance known to man. It's the last thing we need more of on this planet is plutonium. Come on, guys. Jeez. Anyway, so there you go. The world is getting dicier every day. But that may not be the only thing. You know what? So we're talking about, who, if somebody was to stage something to hit us, who would it be? Normally, I wouldn't think Russia. People usually blame Russia for stuff because Russia's got to worry about China. If we're gone, then they got to face China. China's their only opposition, and China, they'd be next, probably. So as long as we're around, we got this triad thing between the United States, Russia, and China, and we're pushing against both of them. Yeah, Russia's going to cozy up to China, but in the end, Russia's more scared of China than they are us, probably in the long run. In the short term, we've caused them to be more concerned about us. But maybe they don't like the change in administrations. That's something else to consider. It may have something to do. It's been alleged that Vladimir Putin said was quoted sometime after the elections, having said if the United States had elected Hillary, that he would have committed a first strike on the United States. Well, I don't know if he actually said it, but I do know that one of his close associates, who's also known for being very much out there, Vladimir's, what's that, Zhirinovsky? Oh, shoot, come on, what's his name? Vladimir, shoot, he's the guy that they basically modeled as becoming the breakaway republic and causing the conflict in the movie the Crimson Tide, you know, the submarine attack. Zhirinovsky, trying to say the name, there we go, Zhirinovsky, Vladimir Zhirinovsky. He said this. He said, Americans voting for president, now he said this 4 years ago, over 4 years ago, on 8 November must realize that they are voting for peace on planet Earth if they vote for Trump, but they will vote for Hillary. It's war. It will be a short movie. There will be Hiroshimas and Nagasaki's everywhere. That's what he said. That's just my quote of him. I'm not endorsing that statement. I'm just telling you what he said. And that was over 4 years ago, back just prior to the last election. But it kind of stands in with what I heard from Putin. Oh, that's hearsay from Putin's aspect. Yeah, I looked for it online. I didn't find it in short order, but I found Zhirinovsky's quote. And there you go. Yeah, he's the one that they modeled that that maybe Crimson Tide over. Of course, Crimson Tide is also the name of the football team in my own state here. And of course, in that maybe the boat was named USS Alabama. Kind of interesting, but you know, maybe they thought Alabama would stand up and do something. Anyway, we live in perilous times. We really do. Would Russia do something? Would they do it if they can make it like somebody else did it? Only if they really have reason to be gravely concerned of the current president coming in. In the case of Hillary, the concern was that she said she was going to set up these no-fly zones over Syria. And she said she'd shoot, and she said this on a television show. She said if Russian MiGs violated that no-fly zone, she'd shoot them down. Oh, yeah. That would have been war right off the bat, because Russia will not tolerate a no-fly zone over Syria, and where they can't fly their MiGs. They got a naval base off in the Mediterranean off the east coast of Syria. That's very important to them. They're not going to give that up. That's probably their best, their only base in the Mediterranean. Other than that, they got to go through the Strait of Bosphorus to get out of their other warm water naval base, which is what used to be in the Ukraine. But anyway, so there we go. Yeah, I'm getting brain locked here again. So Crimea, that's what I was trying to say, in Crimea. So my friends, yeah, they got Vladivostok in on the east, on the Pacific side, which the Chinese are trying to claim. Vladivostok. Now I'll get to that in a minute. Vladivostok. So that's why really Russia don't want to be too cozy to China, because China's got a whole lot more people, and Siberia looks mighty yummy to the Chinese, and Russia knows it. And they're already licking their lips out. That's why I said, guys, we should make peace with Russia now. Make peace with Russia and use them as an ally to control China. We did the other thing back in the Nixon administration where we were more worried about Russia. Now the shoe's flipped. We need to switch. So, yeah. Anyway, we're making deals with the devil anyway, right? But right now, I'm a lot more concerned about China. They're the big 900 trillion pound gorilla in the room. They have more capacity to dominate the earth than any nation has ever had in terms of their potentials and their trend lines, if they ever could stop being flooded. But they're kind of desperate due to that too, and food supplies. So it makes them unstable at the moment. All right, enough said. I beat on these things enough. Just suffice it to say, my friends, that you do need to prep. You do need to get ready, just in case. Pray and hope for the best and prepare for the worst. But always keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe, bang the notification bell, and click all, because it's a proposition, this channel, to help you survive, thrive, and stay out of the hide. Of course, you can support my channel by clicking the links below to prepwithgreg.com and just type it in your URL, or click the links below that will take you to True Leaf Market. In that case, you got to click the link below or put that link in your URL. Anyway, my friends, so I know that you watched it this far. Say, gee, Greg, indeed, let's hope that the B52s don't drop any bombs. Anyway, that's really what we hope. My friends, all that said, all I got to say is thank you for watching. Y'all take care, and I hope everybody has an awesome holiday season. And let's hope that we don't have these things come to pass that Stacy was saying. But no, her advice to keep that from coming to pass was to pray and repent. That may be in order too. Anyway, hey, I'm in the mood for the season. Check out my holiday lights. But again, why are we worried about all this stuff? Power grid defense. I'm concerned about a grid going down. That'd be horrendous. Anyway, my friends, thank you for watching.